2 weeks ago, I attended an event in Byron Bay in support of Azrin Pugh, the Labor candidate for Ballina. And there I met a remarkable man, Neville Kelly, a life member of the Australian Labor Party who'd been a member for more than 50 years. And I spent some time talking to Ned, as he is known. And he told me a story about his involvement in politics and how he came to be engaged, particularly in areas of country New South Wales. In 1961, Ned moved to Moree, and he was appointed as a member of the local health board by the then Minister Billy Sheehan to the District Hospital Board as a director. He went around the hospital to get familiar with it, and as he thought he had seen everything in the hospital, he asked what this shed was down a few hundred metres from the hospital. And he'd seen food going to and from that area. He was told that was where the Aboriginals were. The Aboriginal patients were kept in a separate area with inferior food and inferior conditions in 1961. Ned is a very sprightly gentleman, and he told me the story about how he fixed it. He got Billy Sheehan to come up as a minister to open a section of the new hospital. And he told Billy Sheehan what the circumstances were in Moree. And Billy Sheehan, the day before, of course, said that he would come on the condition that everyone was treated equally. And from that day of the minister's visit, segregation ended. But it didn't end in other parts of the Moree area. And this wasn't unfamiliar in other parts of Australia as well. The Moree Council, Moree Plains Shire Council, had carried a resolution in 1955, and that resolution had said that no person being a full-blooded or half-caste Aboriginal of Australia, or being a person apparently having a mixture of Aboriginal blood, shall use or occupy or be present in or upon or be allowed or permitted to use the local swimming pool. What we saw in the 1960s was the freedom rides that changed that. And I seek leave to table, and I thank those opposite for allowing it, from the Mirror on the 21st of February 1965. Violence explodes in racist town that begins. White women jeered and spat at girl freedom riders today as racial violence broke out for the first time at Moree. The work of Jim Spiegelman and Charlie Perkins, very well known for the work that they did on those freedom rides. But it was people in rural areas who made such a big difference. Now, they had a public meeting at the town hall, and Ned went along to that public meeting and moved a resolution that council open up all facilities, the town hall, the swimming pool, and of course the famous spa there at Moree. The public facilities weren't allowed to be used by Aboriginals in that town. So what he did then, the elections were coming up, and he stood and got elected, came first in being elected to Moree Council, showing that beneath the surface the population actually knew it was wrong and were prepared to vote for change. And at his first council meeting, he moved just that change. Ned is an example of a true believer in the Australian Labor Party, a bloke who's never run for any office other than local council, who's given up more than 5 decades of his life, who's made a real impact. I'm sure there are many people across the political spectrum who do that, and I pay tribute to Ned today and all those who don't get to be members of parliament but who make a difference to their local communities and to their nation.